Hello, I'm Lily from the Ciactro Toree server. If you're wondering, I'm gonna pick MacBat now that I think about it. Um, I want to quickly go over the new levels, courtesy of Cali Ross. And I just want to go over my thoughts on them real quick, which is why I'm picking MacBat, because I don't want to actually play through them. I've done that already. Just want to kind of talk about them because, they've created quite a lot of buzz in the Toree community. You know, people are excited to speedrun them. People are excited to get to play more Toree. And I think people are happy to get more of Toree 3D instead of Toree 2, because Toree 2 was a whole new game, right? Like, it was mondo different, but Toree 3D is familiar, you know? So let's jump into Ducktown Throwdown. First of all, I love the reused assets here. These were from the sort of beta, I believe, build of Toree. There were some screenshots I remember from Patreon. I think Marcus might have posted them publicly in the Discord. And we got this big duck here. This is something I really liked. Is Caliros did a lot with the ducks. They've got, they're all going at different angles instead of just walking in sort of perpendicular lines. You know what I mean? They're all going at different speeds. They're different sizes. They feel more like enemies, despite the fact that they still just walk back and forth Goomba style. They feel more like enemies than just simple obstacles. Because of that, just that little flair of having them go in like random direction, and it's not random, but you know what I mean. It's like it's not just like they're not all going the same direction, I guess is what I mean. Because you have the bees and the ducks in other levels that just kind of they all follow a pattern of just kind of being obstacles, and again being bigger is really cool. As we come along here, we've got kind of, first of all, these levels are massive, which I will talk about at the end, my thoughts on that, but I am a fan. Come over this fan, and you get more of these, and it's kind of cool because you have to go around them or get beaten, so that's kind of cool. You can't just jump over them. Toree is able to do that, but I think it's a fun little sequence of climbing the tower using the fans. Now, fans, this is not like a level design issue, this is a game bug issue. Fans immediately are a red flag to me, because if you know Toree, then you know that you can do this, you know that you can do this, and so just be aware, I guess, that glitch still exists, and that's not your fault in designing the level, because if you just play the game the vanilla way, then the fans are cool. But on the speedrunning end of things, it is a glitch that cheapens the NA% a little bit, but it's fine, because you can always just play glitchless. I mean, I'm not interested in these moving platforms, but what I do like... Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that goes like inside the wall. What I did like about the moving platforms in the Caliros' like remixed levels is that you can get off early. For example, this one, if I just wait over here, if I get on it and run, look, you don't even need to wait at all. And I think that's really good. Personally, we got this little sequence. This is really cool. It reminds me of I don't know, maybe it was like Sonic Riders, or like F-Zero. These big like rings going down this like racetrack kind of slope thing. It reminds me of some sort of racing game that had something similar. So that's very cool. One thing I like here is that if you're pretty good at video games, you can actually make this jump I don't know if you can make it with Toree, but I know you can make it with Tasty. So that's kind of a cool little sequence break. I don't know if it was intentional, but it is cool. I like this little. It kind of reminds me of like 4D or like 3D chess, where you have like it's checkered obviously, and it goes up and down. It looks nice, and this sequence is fun to play through. Again, climbing up the thing. I like that, you know, if you're good at the game, you can make that jump. If you're not feeling it that day, then you don't get punished too hard. You just need to, you know, climb your way up. So that's cool. It's also like there's stars down there. So like that's the thing. Like having these intentional alternate paths where if you want to take a harder route, you can go faster. Like for example, like it's harder to make this jump, but it's faster to make this jump, or it's harder to do that skip as Tasty, but it's faster. And I don't know if parts of these might not be intentional, but the fact of the matter is that it's in the level. Here again, you don't need to wait that long, don't need to wait at all there. It's much better than in Glamour City Original, where you have to wait super long times. I loved this little gag, I mean, with the duck being inside the thing's mouth. I thought that was cute. And now it's poking through, which makes me wonder, does the duck spawn after it opens its mouth? Because you can't see the mouth of the duck. You know what I mean? Like you can't see the mouth of the duck. Wait, okay, now I can. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Maybe it turns around, like the duck turns around. I don't know. I swear I couldn't see the thing before. This is a cool little part of the level. It does cheapen the experience that you can kind of clip through it. I don't really know. It's a glitch. Like, it's not a problem with the level design. However, it is weird. I don't know if this duck is like pushing the other duck off, but that looked kind of funny. I mean, you could go down here for the stars, but I like that you can also go this way if you want to be a little bit faster. This section, it's like a rocket, a Team Rocket like base, you know, you gotta go like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But I like that, I mean, it is kind of hard on the eyes if you're looking at the whole thing at once, but I like that, you know, it's pretty easy to react to where you're going. And another example, here, if you're playing as Toree, you can make that jump with skill. And if you want to go the easier way, you'll lose a bit of time on the way up. But it's cool. So, honestly, that level's great. It's a huge improvement over sort of the original Glamour City levels, which were some of my, or like Glamour City, Starry Sky, the Metropolitan ones. Those were kind of some of my less favorite levels in Toree, but I mean, I loved the aesthetic, but I felt like they were some of, I mean, you know what, Starry Sky was okay. It was Glamour City was kind of boring, but anyway, I think that Ducktown Throwdown's a pretty good. I mean, I will say straight up, these two levels are my favorite from the remixes, right? Wild Wild Winds I don't hate, but it is my least favorite. And Mama Goes to Town is fun as well. So let's get to Fraught Freeze. This level's awesome. So it makes me so happy. So we'll play it the like obvious way, right? We go in a straight line. We dodge the things. We go down here. We are supposed to dodge the things. But then you can just jump down. This sort of non-linear level design, man, when I played this level for the first time, I was thinking, this is what Toree could be. Like, it's so cool. And this is not, you know, when I say this is what Toree could be, that is not to discredit the linear shorter levels, because both have a place, right? Like, I think the reason that this worked so well for me is because of the contrast with the linear levels. I fell in love with a Toree that had short linear levels. So for me to say that those levels are bad would be kind of silly, because that's the Toree that I fell in love with. But this is such a new thing for for Toree that it felt so creative and so unique to have these levels where, yeah, I can just jump down here and I can just like go whichever way I want. You know, like there's so much freedom here that I thought it was really cool. So like, you know, it's a really cool thing. And then you have this like big platforming segment where you can kind of like go whichever you want, and there's stars everywhere. So like playing like all stars in this level would be really cool. I just like, you know, to run that, to speed run that, because you've got to go like everywhere. And like that's another thing. The placement of the stars and the number of the stars is really clever, because in Toree 3D, and to a lesser extent Toree 2, the stars are all on the beaten path. These remixes make you go out of your way to get the stars, which makes it a more unique way to play the level than if you were to just like get an S rank, go as fast as possible, right? It encourages replayability in a way that I think is really good. And man, I just love this. Return of the ice physics is so great for me because we didn't have any. Like, there were no ice in Toree 2. But now that it's back, it's like, oh, it's like nostalgic. I'm like happy to have it back. I like this section where you have to dodge the conveyors. I thought that was pretty creative. I do have like a slight complaint about this section, which is that the star never gets close enough to you for it to actually... Well, maybe if you're bad like that, it might get too close, but it never actually gets that close. But I already said this on Discord, and it is a minor thing. So, you know, this whole section, if you want to get all stars, is super fun to play through. Like, you've got to, like, you've got to, like, drift around, and it's really cool. However, if you just want to go, like, the fastest route possible... And look, I'm really dilly-dallying here, and I'm still not at any, like, risk, you know? Whether you want to go the fastest route, you can literally just go in a straight line, which is fine. Like, I don't have any complaints about that. Like, it's fine. This part, oh my god, this part. So, I thought initially that I'd be able to run in between these, and I think that you can, but it's like really precise. But then I noticed that if you get the boost from the ice, you can pretty much just skip the conveyor belts entirely with the second jump. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I like this part. It splits off into two sections where you can go down here. It's a bit slower. And you can go over here, and it's a lot faster because you can like drift along the ice. Like it feels really cool. It feels like Mario Kart. I feel like I'm hitting a sick mini turbo. You know, it just feels really good to play. And you can come along here. You could go the boring way, or you could just jump down here. So again, like the freedom and different like routes you can take in these levels is so cool. That I want to see more of that in Toree. I don't think all of the levels should be like that. Well, I mean, maybe they could be, but I like the linear levels as well. I think that having a mix of them, maybe like, you know how we've got, if I come over here, now we've got like 2 metropolitan ones, 2 like ocean ones, 2 ice ones. Maybe what you could do is have like linear levels at first and then open levels, like bigger levels for the second part. That would be cool, you know? Just spitballing ideas here for like Toree, Super Toree World or something, you know. Wild Winds. This is a fun level. The only problem is that it is largely based on a mechanic that I don't like. The wind tunnels by themselves, they're fine. But when you put too many of them, honestly, the game kind of feels a bit finicky. It feels a bit clumsy to sort of move around in that. And it feels like... the decisions I'm making, first of all, it's the actor, that's really cool. It feels like the decisions I'm making about the direction I want to go, the way I want to move is less sort of what's the word? Deliberate. So if I come over here, you know, this section, it's fine if you try and do it like I'm doing it now, but the moment you start jumping, because you get infinite jumps while you're in a wind tunnel, like that's not just MacBat, Toree gets infinite jumps too. So the moment you start like pressing the jump button, you start going everywhere, you know. and it just feels a bit finicky, a bit clunky to sort of go in the direction you want. And then like these tunnels, these like fans here, I don't get the feeling that they do anything because I feel like, I mean, it just, I don't know. But again, it's a fun level. I like this segment a lot because they're pushing sideways, but we did this earlier. They're pushing sideways, but you can jump like up onto them, and I think that's cool. But also, I like that you can go on this part and kind of opt out of that. Not entirely, because you still need to go in there, but it's cool. This part, one minor complaint is just that you don't immediately run up all the time. Like those times I did, but you see there, like it didn't work. So that's kind of like a minor complaint. This part's really fun though. This section of the level, it's awesome. You're going like fast, you're going every which way, and then you could go through the space pipe from Dash Dimension. Or you could just, you know. So I have less to say about that because I'm not as enthusiastically happy about it. But it's really fun. You know, it is like, I've said it before, every level in this pack is good. This is just less good than the others. That's all, you know. Mama Goes to Town. I love that Mama's a character. Like I love that she's in Toree 2. She's in Jumbled Jam. I hope that Mama is like gonna stay a recurring character. This level's really cool. It is Neo Osaka without. I mean, it has, like, here's the thing, it has cycles, but the cycles do not determine your maximum speed, because, like, this is on a cycle, for example, right? But I'm not dependent on it. I'm not landing on it, so I'm not dependent on where it is to influence my time. We're just going to do this to make it a bit faster. By the way, I thought it was really cool to see one of these huge fans. It was really entertaining. Just to sort of see that, because every fan in the original Toree is the same size, but Kaleiros Tech took the liberty of like scaling them up and down in certain places, which I thought was really cool. This is the thing that I don't like, and it's in the original Toree 3D too. This is not a problem you need to remix, but these bees don't feel like enemies. They're just flying in place. They might as well be like spikes, you know? That being said, it's not a big deal. So, like, you see this. All of this is on a cycle, but because the stuff that I'm actually platforming on is static, it's more fun. I mean, I like Neo Osaka because of the cycle, but this makes it so much easier to tame the cycle, you know? It makes it feel a lot less trial and error, because in Neo Osaka you need to just try over and over until you figure out the cycle. In this, you can S-rank it first try, because I did S-rank it first try, because it's pretty cool. I like this segment because you gotta like duck and weave, dodge all these things. It's like, it's pretty fun. Again, I don't like how these bees, which could be actual characters, are just sort of static, you know, kill objects. But again, it's a minor detail, and it's present in both Toree games that are not, like, it's not a problem unique to this. I loved seeing Mama in the level, like in the background. I thought that was really neat. I also liked seeing the Toree 2 posters. I thought that was a really fun tie-in, but I wish we saw more. Like, where's Mama's face? Maybe I missed it, I don't know. But each time I've played the level, I have not noticed her face anywhere. And I feel like that's strange, because, you know, if this is Mama Goes to Town, where's Mama, you know? I don't... Maybe I'm being silly. This segment's really cool, by the way. It looks really busy as you're approaching it, but I guess it's like a traffic jam or something. But it's really cool to play through. This segment's a bit more difficult, but if you do the platforming right, it's not even faster. I don't know why this top path exists. It's faster to go this way. Oh, there's Okay, that was just me being silly then. Ignore that. Mama's right here. That was a bit silly. Look, I played this level like 4 times. Just let me away with that, you know. Um, and yeah, I guess that's it. That's the Toree remix stages. And now I'm just going to talk about how much I like these bigger levels, because I mean you could do more with it, and that's the thing that I think is really exciting. Is these levels, Ducktown, Throwdown, Frog Freeze. These are very open levels where you can pick multiple directions at different times, and the thing is you could develop that idea more. You could do more with that, and I think that you'd have some really cool, not that these aren't really cool, but you'd have some really special levels on your hands if you wanted to do that. I would love, and I know this is a big ask, yeah, just make more levels, but I would love to see something like this for Toree 2. And maybe that's me being a greedy Toree fan. I don't care if you charge for it. That would be perfectly reasonable, because another thing, all of these are free. I mean, on the Switch, it's a free update for a game you have to pay for, but on PC, you can just download this. You don't even need to have Toree in the first place. That is super generous, and I just have to thank like the developers, and especially Caliros, who did like all the work on these stages. I just have to thank them for being so generous with this game in general, because Toree 3D and Toree 2 are both just $1. That's 89 pence. And this game's free, and that's super generous just like in general, because they could easily have charged like twice that, like $2, $3. They could easily have gotten away with that, but I love how generous that is. And if we saw something like this for Toree 2, even if it was like a paid, I want to say like DLC, but it would most likely just be a standalone thing like this one. If we saw that, that would be really awesome. And I think the new stuff from Toree 2, like the sun loungers that bounce you up, the green things that make you go fast, like those could be really cool and bigger levels like these. So I love this idea. I loved these levels. I think that the shorter linear levels have to stay. Like, I know that people really like these levels, but I don't want you to get the wrong idea and think that people didn't like the the original levels, because we did, and we want more of those. But maybe give us some bigger levels from time to time as well. I know that we're probably not going to get another Toree project for a while, but I hope that you keep these thoughts in mind, you know, the feedback in mind, for whenever you do come back to Toree. And if we don't ever get another Toree game, I can say that I am very happy with what you've given us so far, because it is a ton of fun. And I guess just like, since there's no sort of ETA on another Toree sort of content, I will just say, like, thanks a lot for making this game. It's really cool.